Hi, in this clip I'm going to go through... start again. Hi, in this clip I'm going to... in this clip I'm going to start going through the Grade 4 Rockschool Guitar book. The first piece is Enough Said. What I'm going to do is I'm going to play through the piece first of all with the backing track. I'm then going to give you a few pointers about things you need to look out for when you're actually performing the piece. I'll then play it a second time with the backing track slowed down about 10%, so you can see what's going on a bit more clearly, that kind of thing. I'll then play it a third time with my own volume turned right down, so you've got a visual reference of where you should be in the song, but a slightly slowed down backing track you can practice along with. So this is Enough Said.
1, 2, 1, 2, 3, 4.
Right, okay, first section, pretty straightforward, just based around a ninth chord with some slides. You can do it with one finger, so it's pretty easy to play. Main thing is, you've got staccato dots, so make sure you keep everything really, really punchy, so don't let the things ring on. So when you're doing the slide, make sure those dotted staccato notes really stand out, so you want it, cut that note really short, then really short again, so not, make sure you keep it nice and punchy. Also on the repeat you've got the opportunity to ad-lib a little bit, so your smallest kind of note resolution is 16th notes, so if you kind of think what the tempo is, don't be afraid to put a few little muted strums in to make it sound a little bit more interesting. Also on the very last bar they've actually, you've got a mute stroke, so make sure you get that muted chord in there and you don't play it the same as the first repeat. Okay, into the second section where you've got the palm muted section. For starters you've got a piano marking there, so it's got to be nice and quiet, okay, so make sure you back the volume off a little bit so it's a bit quieter, and again really make sure you keep it punchy. There's lots of little rests and things in there to make it sound sort of groove well. You've got to make sure you get that palm muting nice and tight, okay. The other thing is the way it's actually tabbed out, you've got the sort of 2-bar repeating phrase played sometimes on an open string, sometimes you know, with the A on the 5th fret of the E string, sometimes going to the open string. I wouldn't play it like that personally. What I tend to advise my students to do is actually play it the same every way. To do it in a way that's comfortable rather than having to remember lots of different ways of playing the same thing. Strange, because normally I'm very fussy about making sure it's you're performing it the way it's actually written down in the book. But I've had quite a few students go through grade 4 now, and they've all passed pretty easily. So I'm presuming it's not going to matter. The main thing is getting it nice and punchy. So make sure again you get those nice palm muting nice and even, and keep it as punchy as you can. Same thing applies as well. You can add a few extra little kind of muted notes in it to make it sound nice and funky. So rather than playing it as it's written, you can add a few little mute strokes in there. Just to make it sound a little bit funkier. Right, okay, the guitar solo section. If you look at the chords, you're opening with a D7 sus4 chord, so a D7, you've got a minor 9 and a few other bits and pieces coming in there. Key signature is a G, okay? So if you use a G major scale, but kind of try and get used to thinking about it playing in D, but using a G major scale. I know that sounds kind of strange, but what we're actually playing is D mixolydian mode. If you look at your G major scale, starting on a D, and compare it to a D major scale, you've only got one note different. Okay? So you've got a flat 7 in there, and that's what gives it that kind of slightly, what's the word, sort of mysterious kind of bluesy edge to it. So yeah, always try and centre your improvisations around the chord tones, the actual chord notes. So if you're starting on D, you get that kind of mixolydian feel about it. Also, when you're playing through it, because the whole thing's very funky, don't be afraid to borrow some of the phrasing from other parts. For instance, that first section, you can use that, just that little phrase, as a starting point for your improvisations. Maybe pop a few octaves in there, that kind of thing. And then link it together with phrases from the actual scale. So you've got a kind of continuity in it. It makes it sound like it's part of the actual piece. The other thing is as well, keep the solo nice and funky as well. You don't want to try and stick in sort of your typical kind of bluesy pentatonic licks, because it's not going to really work against this sort of music. Okay, let's look at the next section. Second line on page 2. You've got straight 16th note rhythm, but you're missing off the first semiquaver. So make sure you've got that gap at the start. Da da da. If you find it hard to come straight in there, again, mute stroke would be a good way of keeping the time. 2, 3, 4. So you've got a chance to find that rhythm. Again, third line, you've got the offbeats coming in. Make sure you don't miss that. It's got to sound punchy. Don't try and kind of bullshit your way through it. Make sure if you find it hard to catch those offbeats, practice it until you can do it really, really smoothly. Right, what have we got now? A little fill coming into the next kind of riff section. Make sure you get that rising glissando there. Don't miss that little slide there. Right, again, another palm muted section. Again, you've got to get this as punchy as you can, so make sure you take notice of that palm muting section. Also, mezzo forte this time, so a little bit louder than the first section. So rather than bring the volume up a little bit, make sure you get it a little bit louder. Also, although it sounds like a completely repeated phrase, every ending's different. Make sure you don't miss out those different endings. First time, you're going up from D to D sharp. Second time, you're going from E to D sharp. You're going down. Again, when you go down, same thing applies. Going up, and then you've got a little run into the end. Don't miss those little ends of phrases. Right, okay, I'm going to play through it again now, with a backing track slowed down a fraction.
Enough said. 1, 2, 1, 2, 3, 4.
Okay, third time through, this time with my own volume turned down.
Enough said. 1, 2, 1, 2, 3, 4.
Solo. Second repeat the chords. Okay, there we go. Hope that's of some help. One last thing I need to talk about, as well as the actual sound you use. It's got to be pretty damn clean, but make sure you've got plenty of attack. Okay, so if you've got a guitar with single coil pickups, perfect. If you haven't, then just try and make sure you've got plenty of attack there, so it's nice and bright, so you can really hear the definition of the notes. A little splash of reverb and chorus will soften it up a little bit. You know, if you've got a humbucker guitar, it's going to sound a little fatter than you need to, but the important thing is getting that nice kind of pick attack, so you've got a nice bright tone, but not too much mid as well. So rather than using your kind of bridge pickup, try and use your neck, so it's got that slightly kind of warmer quality to it. Have fun. Hopefully that's of some benefit to you.